Welcome to the Chromaniacs, your weekly look inside San Diego FC and MLS. I'm Craig Elston, joined as always by my Chromaniacs, Tony Sanchez and Alex Pena. What's going on, Tony?
Well, this can be the best weekend in San Diego soccer or probably the worst, somewhere in between. But it's very exciting to have playoff soccer with San Diego attached to it. Looking forward to that. Alex, ¿cómo estás?
I'm doing well, and if anyone wants to know what an Irish goodbye looks like in podcast form, they can go back to the last podcast and go watch that. Apologies, I had some technical difficulties here, and then everything just went black like a Sopranos finale. It just went black. So.
Thankfully, though, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back, and everything's good, and yeah, we keep rolling along here for a big game on Sunday night.
Yeah, a huge Sunday for San Diego soccer. May it be a great one. It's great to have you along for the ride for Chromaniacs episode number 22, our 11th straight episode talking about SDFC versus Portland. Or maybe it just feels that way. One thing we know, we were not playing Portland again this year.
Correct.
Yeah, that's it.
This is it. Please let it be it. We're going to be talking about it. We've got training ground sound. We're recording one day later than normal on a Friday, November 7th, because they had open training today for the Sunday match. So we'll hear from head coach Mike Ivanis. We'll hear from best 11 winger Anders Dreyer. We'll hear from Corey Baird, who picked up an assist to Amal Pellegrino in match 2. We'll take a brief look back at game 2. We'll talk about the awards that were handed out. We're going to get ready for the game. For goodness sakes, what else can we do? It's one match, winner take all. It's the first time, guys. I think that's a good place to leap off. First time that San Diego FC has ever faced elimination stakes in franchise history. There's always been another game. Until this match. And now, if they don't win, that's it for the season for San Diego FC. So, I mean, that may sound banal in terms of early commentary. Oh, who gave this guy a mic? But it's factual. The franchise has never faced this before. Now they face it for the first time.
I don't think it's a bad thing either that from last match to this one, you get another match to kind of make those adjustments. I think if everything went well in that second match, and we advanced and played, whoever, Seattle or Minnesota, and we didn't see those adjustments that need to be made. I think Mikey Varas might have regretted it. I think this extra game kind of helps them adjust properly, and hopefully we get the win out of it at the end of the night.
How big of an adjustment are you guys looking for? I mean, an adjustment, because it's been 100% no adjustment the past 3 games, starting lineup wise. One adjustment enough? 2 adjustments enough? I mean, what are we looking at? Are we just planning to see the exact same game that we saw here at Snapdragon for game 1, and that led to a San Diego FC victory? Now a little bit more of a spirited Portland side. They were kind of, in Spanish, de panzazo, like just barely making it to that finish line into playoffs. They were tired. They got their ass whooped by San Diego. So, there's those things that are kind of factoring into this, where how much of a change are you looking for? Or, hey, Mikey, keep going. Same thing again, which he's been doing. And, I don't know.
Well, there's one thing that's guaranteed to be different, which is that Chucky Lozano will be in the 11. And that's something that's not been the case every single one of these times. And he could very well be in the starting lineup this time. Certainly a topic for discussion as we continue on. But I'm excited to see what our local side brings to the pitch on Sunday night, because for the first time, we'll actually see them play an elimination match. So it's, whether you never forget your first. We've had all these firsts. This is the first elimination match for San Diego FC, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them hopefully put the good foot forward, be on that front foot, and really take command of Sunday's match. As we get rolling here, just a quick reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We've been seeing great numbers for the show week by week as we're progressing here into the playoffs. If you can hit that thumbs up button, it's right there. It's right there next to you. It'll take you half a second. Boom. Hopefully you just did it right now. Thank you so much for hitting thumbs up. It does help the show. And if you're listening to us on the podcast, thank you. Really appreciate it. If you've not subscribed, please do. Hit that little plus button. If you can hit the 5-star review as well, it's going to help some other soccer fans find the show. If you can recommend it to an SDFC fan or a soccer fan in your life, that's going to help us out as well. Thanks as always for your patronage. We talked all about it on Monday's SanDiego.Futbol 2 balls and a mic presentation on Monday evening. Alex and I, Alex for a while. He was there for a little while. Me all the way through.
You were so disgusted with the game. Like I understand.
Yeah, no worries. But we broke down all of game 2. We don't really need to get into it again. Obviously, please go back. It's in the feed. It's in the podcast feed. It's in our Chromaniacs YouTube feed as well. So you can go find that discussion if you want to hear it all in depth. My too long didn't watch version is San Diego should have won. They defended not well enough for too long at the end of the match. They conceded incredibly late, which is incredibly bummer. And then their goalkeeper, subbing in for an injured goalkeeper, made 2 saves, and somehow they lost by shooting 3 penalties above the scoring area, 2 of them into like the upper deck. So that's kind of the game in 25 seconds. SDFC should have won, and they've never lost to Portland. They haven't lost one time this year, but in this case, penalties ruled the day.
I hate it. I really do. I hate that this is the format, but those are the rules, and you got to go through this structure to get to the next round. But I think if you make one of those penalties, everything kind of changes and you reset, and you hope good things happen on the other side. But hopefully they really practice those penalties. They made their adjustments. They're going to have a better game on Sunday.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with San Diego FC. Like, that's how short of a small of a margin it was for them to not have to play another game this upcoming Sunday. And Portland is doing everything possible to recreate that, because guess what? That's the same mechanic they're going to have to face even here at home. To get to that point would require San Diego FC not to beat Portland in the initial 90 or however much injury time is given these days. But it's up to San Diego FC to really take this game by the horns and really just move forward with, you live and you learn. And at the end of the day, this creates storyline. I like chaos and entertainment and sports entertainment. This creates a sense of like urgency that I don't think has been seen from San Diego in a soccer sense and felt really. So I really think that San Diego has a chance to bring it home in the most dramatic fashion.
Yeah. Have you guys liked the build up to this week? It seems like it feels more important, and like we learned a little bit more about Velde. He's now the new villain. We hate that guy. They saw what Annabelle Godoy did at the very end of the match. Now they hate him on their side, and it feels good that we had like a good 5 days a build up for this match on Sunday.
I also liked the way SDFC went with the do or die graphics, and they've pumped up the stakes as well, because honestly they're still hand holding a good portion of San Diego through this first MLS season. They need to be told we're in the playoffs now. It's do or die. Please come out and support. And also the club has announced a second playoff sellout, so it's going to be over 32,500 once again at Snapdragon Stadium on Sunday night. I know the supporter section was sold out quickly. It was sold out within like a day or so of having all the tickets released. So really looking forward to what San Diego brings from an atmosphere standpoint.
It's huge, man. Like at the very base of it, right? Like this is a San Diego team that's carrying the name of the city, and I want them to make this city proud. And that's just besides removing myself from any sort of like blank coverage statements that I have to make in terms of like, well, you know, I can't get into the fan base of it. I like San Diego, man. It's my hometown, and whenever San Diego is held in regards in the highest of the elite of anything, whenever San Diego's mentioned, like, oh, there was this great archer from the Olympics. Even Tijuana, we had a player playing in the World Series, gets himself a mural. Like, this region lives off of this, and so to be able to see this happen, and whatever the result is, I hope that San Diego is made proud of once again. And this is how you start. This is the response of the community that says, okay, you've presented this situation for us. San Diego responds. Here you go.
And I like the other graphic they did with, I know we're not a Wave podcast, but I love the side-by-side Wave and San Diego FC. They're going to Portland. We're playing Portland at home. Yeah, Craig's got his Portland hat on. It's Soccer Sunday here in San Diego, and it feels great. It's a soccer a playoff, and we're gonna have the Wave play in the afternoon. Hopefully, they get their win, they move on, and it sets up nicely for a big Sunday. And going into Sunday night.
As a point of fact, it's going to be an incredibly long day for yours truly because I'm going to be hosting the watch party for San Diego Wave at Novo Brazil in Mission Valley. And that watch party gets started, I think, at 10:30 in the morning. We get there before that. Match kicks at 12 o'clock. And then it's going to be, when that's over, pretty much straight over to Snapdragon Stadium to get things rolling for San Diego FC. So it's going to be a long day, and I hope it's a long day that's filled with a lot of celebration and a lot of tears for Portland. And sorry, Portland, I'll be back on your side on Monday, but unfortunately, this is where the line must be drawn in the sand. And it's literally sand here, thankfully. It's like rainy mud up there. So, we're going to draw that line in the sand and hopefully take a couple of dubs, one from Providence Park for the Wave and one, of course, at Snapdragon Stadium for SDFC.
I'm going to need you to get the nearest 18 Threads intern and say, I need you to record this as you go from Mission Valley, Novo Brazil to 18 Threads and Superman telephone booth into the Chromaniac.
Oh, my God. Okay. Now I have to tell you a story. Because you brought it up. The original Chromaniac silver suit, it took damage. Uh-oh. And the damage came from a noble cause, which was to clean the suit. Turns out, novelty suits, you shouldn't clean at all. And so while nobody actually really noticed it, the last game I went to, it had damage in certain areas. I was able to cover up with some buttoning and some work, but it wasn't really a piece that you could keep taking out into public. So I had to go get suit number 2, and I ordered it online, and it's the same suit, I thought, but it was from a different place. But anyways, I ordered what I thought was the right size, and I think it must have been, I don't know, made in Asia or something, and I got it, and it was made for someone not my size.
Got it. Yes.
It was made for someone much significantly smaller than me. Like if we had recruited our good friend, Jerry Jimenez, he could have maybe worn the silver suit that arrived at my house, but it was not going to fit me. So I returned it today, but I could not get it exchanged. Of course, nobody carries stupid ass silver suit. So I'm going to have to reorder, hope the team advances, and come up with an improv for. Yeah, okay. I've still got the jacket, but the pants are gone. The pants are gone. See, of course, I've still got the tie. But what I was thinking is maybe because they're asking for a blue out in the supporters section, I was thinking maybe I could pull a blue suit with my silver vest and silver tie and kind of take a nod in that direction and actually have a suit that fits on.
That you're willing to just absolutely destroy and just just to dry clean
Yeah.
away from.
Oh, well, I'd have to dry clean. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, who knows what happens, right? In a 4-4, just slobber knocker of a match, and San Diego FC in the last second, the last breath, bicycle kick by Mano Dua outside the box, hits every single post stand crossbar, has to go to VAR, so double celebration, and
right.
it's just like, are we willing to do that?
I know. I don't know. But I'm gonna look stupid with the jacket and not the pants.
No, I think you can do like blue slacks
Just
with
do
the
the hybrid,
jacket.
man. Just wear the
Yeah,
shorts.
do a hybrid.
Oh, something happened. The shorts. I washed the shorts too. The shorts turned into see-through. They're not even. Shorts are off the table.
Just wear the
as an
shorts,
option.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
Short.
Shorts are off the table. Unless maybe I could find silver shorts in San Diego somewhere. But that's a story. That's a story best told off the air. But point being is, I was literally planning this exact quick change that you were discussing. And then I tried to put on the jacket, and it was like, wait a second. And then I tried to put on the pants. I'm like, hang on, this isn't right. I'm not gaining a ton of weight. I'm running. I'm doing quite well. This is not right.
Average man in a tiny jacket moment. Well, welcome to my world, Craig. Anyway,
man.
Back to you, Alex.
Sorry. This sartorial mistake was brought to you by Kohl's. Maybe just my ordering mistake. Let's talk awards real quick.
Okay.
Anders Dreyer, as predicted, newcomer of the year. I don't know if we knew for sure that he'd make best 11, but you'd have to hope he would. And he did. Anders Dreyer, best 11. The only SDFC representative, but considering there's 30 teams, I think that's a damn good output for the DP of SDFC, of Los Cromados. Anders Dreyer coming up with the double award.
Oh man, and he well deserved. This is the most minutes he's played in his career, it seems like, and he got the most contributions out of it in his career, so that he really outdid himself in terms of expectations, in terms of his career bests and highs, and it's amazing that this quality of player came to MLS and chose to come play for San Diego FC in their first season, not knowing anything. I saw the videos. He's never been to the US before and just dominated the league. And it's too bad that he's playing alongside Messi in the same league, or else he's your MVP. And best newcomer, best 11, and yeah, what a great year. And we get to see Anders for the next few years too. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think it's either he pulls a David Beckham where he goes out on loan during the summer or something like that, comes back, or he's just sticking around for good. But yeah, it's great to have him. I learned a lot about not only him, but the Danes. I love the Danes. I like their culture, and obviously their bike riding culture. I love all of that and all that stuff. So yeah, it's great. It's great to know a good player, and it's great to have him on the team.
Well, maybe he can also do some, the love for bicycles and bike riding. Maybe can turn into the love of penalty kicks for the Danes and the and the Scandinavians. But hey, look, the numbers don't lie for Anders Dreyer. Like it's incredible. 38 goal to contributions. There was one more award linked to Dreyer that kind of went under the radar. But I just realized I got the Spanish graphic. Not that one. It's nope. It was Contratación del Año, which is the signing of the year. And I think that also has a lot to do with it, right? There is no award for Anders Dreyer. There is no accolades for this DP. There is nothing without the person who made it happen. And there's always, in sports, You don't go too far. How scrutinized is AJ moves every move, right?
Right.
And so this is now on Tyler Heaps. Congratulations to him and his team in being able to scout so well, and being able to identify talent, and for a bargain, for sure. That's the biggest piece, a bargain.
Well, it's huge news. That's great. Signing of the year. You love to have the signing of the year. That means that you found value out in the market. I guess in baseball, Shohei Ohtani is just the automatic 10-time signing of the year. 2 million for Shohei? Okay, got it. You get to defer all, you get to save all the money. Never mind. Different show. Meanwhile, coach of the year. We talked about this on previous shows, and we just said, well, it's obviously Mikey Varas. And, who else had to do as much with his... Sorry, if you're not watching the video, the coach of the year finalist graphic is up, and it looks like Mikey in the graphic is kissing his chances goodbye, or at least waving them goodbye, as he finishes a distant third place for coach of the year. And listen, strike one up for the old guard. I guess they didn't want to give this one to Mikey Varas, because all the stuff that we said a couple of episodes ago about how it's so much more difficult to take a team from scratch to top of the table than it is to take a team that struggled a little bit and get them back on track, or a team that adds Thomas Mueller to have a really successful season. And instead they said no. Philadelphia, Vancouver, we'll think of San Diego as the third choice there.
Yeah, this one's the head scratcher. I don't know what what's the requirements to win this. I guess it's just winning the Shield in your first season with a new team. But yeah, the Union, and something we discussed, Union is a very much a plug and play, like just put in a manager. We already have all the pieces. They played here before. They had Wagner, Baribo, Bedoya, all these guys that were there last year. It's just getting the right coach, and they finally did, and they won the Shield. But for Mikey Varas, it was putting all the pieces together. It was learning about Dreyer and Yepe and the new system and the right to play, and is Lawfulson a guy that you can keep? And it's learning on the job. And I feel like that's a much more uphill battle than what Union had to do, and just bringing in a coach and it's like, here you go, just play with these guys and you should win, and they did. So I don't know what they were thinking. I think Mikey Varas was robbed. And maybe this kind of gives him a little bit more of an edge heading into Sunday, where he's like, okay, I see how people in the industry, in the league, see me. Okay, I will show you your manager of the year, like right here on Sunday.
It would certainly behoove him, Tony, to get this win. Otherwise, you can go ahead and ignore all arguments for Mikey Varas and coach of the year.
There's something in MLS that was coming in from the beginning when this club was being built. The giant question was, who was going to be the manager for SDFC? Hugo Sanchez, this person, that person. Ended up being nobody. Ended up being somebody, Mikey Varas, who became a household name in MLS terms. While I think that, it's a little disrespectful to have him third, for sure. I can see that argument as well. In asking and kind of putting the season together, and actually asking other people in markets that are in Philadelphia, near Philadelphia, and regions, I think it kind of comes down to this. The media, the clubs who vote on it, don't necessarily give as much value to what Mikey Varas has done in San Diego, which means that they are valuing the blueprint of Right to Dream and are actually praising it, because in their eyes, they're seeing, well, anybody can coach it. Look, this guy, This guy that they got that's never coached adult men can do it. Anybody can do it. It's the system. From before they were starting this project here in San Diego, other MLS clubs to this day are not okay with San Diego FC's perceived, just competitive advantage with the academy, with having the access to Mexican players. That's a huge one for their academy.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. It's the 50-mile from the border. You get to go across the border. Now you get to cherry pick top Mexican players.
Exactly. And so with these things combined, well, it's an academy, it's built in, it wasn't built from zero, it was copy pasted from somewhere else. I can see where the voting went to a rebuild for Bradley Carnell. Like, sure, Philadelphia there. But then does that really just kind of reflect that mindset of like, no, MLS and its people and involvement really don't like San Diego FC like that? Because that's something that I have heard is that SDFC is not necessarily the most liked team because they're bucking the system, because they're going and changing the way that soccer is played, the way it's taught, the way it's consumed. With the right to dream just model, like this is just revolutionary in its nature. And so the fact that it's working, I know for sure irks other MLS clubs, people in MLS, because you're just upending what it takes to be a good team in a league that's been doing it for 30 years.
And I have a little bit of a rebuttal on that, because if they think the system is the key component here, and Mikey is just a guy that you just come in and you just plug in and he'll coach everybody else. But how much success has FC Northland have done in their league? It's not too much, not a lot. How have they won the league? Have they won European titles? Have they done anything? Not really. So how can they say like, well, it's a system when the system really hasn't worked there? And we could do a deep dive on where else it's worked, but bringing that here doesn't mean it's going to just automatically work in MLS. Like no one knew what this was going to be, and then getting the right coach too was going to be essential to the whole entire project of doing what he needed to do. Right, what we saw in these last few weeks with Chucky Lozano, telling him like, you're not going to be the star of the show. You're going to have to. You're part of the system. He also had, with playing younger players instead of veteran guys, right? We did have Lawfulsid, we did have Nagri, we did have other people that were here. He wanted to go with the younger guys. He actually went with a whole entire young back line, the youngest back line MLS has ever seen. Who else was going to do that? Like, it's not like that was the solution. It's like it's a head coach willing to risk it, because that's the type of coach he is. He's coached young players, very young players, into the 18s, into the 22s, and now he has the ability to coach adults in a very competitive league. And I don't see that's going to be my rebuttal of like, the system isn't everything. You have to get the right people in place.
If I may add before Craig, also on top of that too, for MLS, the shine of these titles and accolades has rubbed off. Every single team has been the greatest expansion team in chronological order. So they've seen greatest expansion teams around the league. So that also kind of wears that down. I don't know how that lands for you, Craig, and all this.
I mean, that's a fair and valid point. I would just say that when I looked at the numbers and I saw that it was not just the media, and it was also the clubs, and it was also the players, it told me that it's not that big a deal. I really like the job Mikey Varas has done. If it's not being recognized nationally, I don't care. And I think the right to dream argument only goes so far, because honestly, it opened like a month ago. Officially it opened a month ago. So this has just been an expansion team. They haven't had any of these advantages, so to speak, that should be manifesting in 6 or 8 or 10 years down the road. They've just got a nice fancy thing that you can pose next to when you walk in on the east side at Snapdragon Stadium. As far as the fans have seen so far, it's planting seeds for something that may grow down the road. But that's neither here nor there. A lot more will be said about San Diego FC if they don't beat Portland on Sunday. They got to beat Portland on Sunday. Then they're moving on They're moving to the knockouts. They're moving from 16 to 8. They're really a part of this conversation to go to the final, to the MLS Cup. It's very much in play. But first, you got to beat Portland. And we've seen all the different versions of this match. We've seen the draw. We've seen the come from ahead draw. We've seen San Diego take a 2-0 lead and hang on. We've seen them blow out Portland at Portland, even, and in the rain even, and win a match by 4. We haven't seen Portland win. We haven't seen Portland control a match with, they took a lead. Obviously, in match 2 of this series, they held that lead until late stoppage time in the first half. So that's the best they've done in the series is a period of about 30 minutes that they led on the scorecard. But now it all comes down to this one match. And I think it comes down to our plan against their plan, because for San Diego FC, the way they want to be on the front foot, the way they want to be creative and attacking and dominant and possessive, move the ball around, get the ball from the back to the front, creative twin passes, overlapping runs, the type of things that they do. That's what they want to get a lead and to build a lead. And if they can do that, San Diego FC is playing their game to their plan, and it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard for Portland to win. But Portland's plan is the opposite of that. Portland wants to snipe. They want to take advantage of the young players on the back line of San Diego FC. They want to pressure and press specifically those players to try and force turnovers, to turn that into a quick shot on goal. If they can get a lead, they'll bunker down. Otherwise, they're going to play for a draw. And they're simply going to play for a draw. And then they're going to count on those penalty kicks to get them through. And why wouldn't they, after the way San Diego FC shat the bed collectively last weekend up in Portland? So any disagreement? I look at this just as two differing things. And I certainly prefer the team that's being aggressive and creative and working with the ball. That's the team I'm going to back and the team I'm going to bet. But Portland has a defined, knowable game plan that if they can get to that game status, they're going to be very dangerous to advance.
Yeah, and I would have to say if Portland is playing for the draw, then a 0-0 draw is right up their alley. And I would have to add to that, whoever scores first is most likely going to be the winner in this one. So if San Diego FC scores first, they'll be the aggressor, and then it's going to be up to Portland if they can try to catch up to whatever San Diego FC is doing. And yeah, and they have to really stick to their style. I think late in the second match, we saw them try to just back up and defend and have a 5-man back line. And I think that wasn't the correct move. I think this time, if you're going to live by the sword, die by the sword, just go all out. If you're up 2-1, go make it 3-1, go make it 4-1. Just keep being aggressive, score as many goals as possible, because you never know with this Timbers team. They can easily make it 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw, as we saw. With set pieces, it doesn't take much for them to try to counter what you're doing. So just try to be aggressive, play your best front three. I think that's going to be Pellegrino, Chucky, and Dreyer, and really go after it.
San Diego has to be ready to be dynamic, and they have to be ready to go all out. They have to be prepared for that scenario and really put la carne al asador, like just throw everything in the kitchen sink. If you need Pellegrino, if you need 5 forwards at that moment, that's what you need. And does that mean that they diverge from this right to dream style, San Diego FC style that they've been developing this whole time? Yes, because there's no tomorrow to say, oh, well, we'll just revert and we'll just go ahead and stick to our core values and stick to our identity. Well, that identity is going to be in the off season already, preparing for next year. And so that's something that needs to happen, where if need be, if pressed, then you need to go ahead and be able to just abandon what you've, what hasn't been working, because that's the thing that's going to happen. Either they're going to be very stubborn and play and win because of that stubbornness, or it's the other side of the stubbornness, and it's going to be a painful thing to watch. One through line through all of this is ultimate focus. Every single one of the players that are on that pitch, those 11 players need to have ultimate focus. They're going to try to bait you into silly cards, into situations that are going to time waste, into little pinches and just back of the knee smacks in set pieces. Like, they're trying to go ahead and get into your head. Keep cool, keep calm, but stay focused. And that's the one thing that San Diego FC cannot afford, is any sort of red card. Any sort of red card and question marks all over. And we've seen Aníbal Godoy be wound up. These teams have seen each other and are absolutely tired of each other. They don't want to play each other anymore. They're done with it. And that's going to probably come to a boil in the second half after the 60th minute, when, as Alex, you were pointing out to us earlier, if you want to get into it a little bit, like, there's going to be a lot of fouls. There's going to be physicality in this matchup.
Yeah, and Joe Dickerson's going to be the official in this match, and we've seen him twice against FC Dallas at home, where San Diego FC won 5-0, and then we saw him a second time against San Jose. That was the away match, 2-1 winner. So that's in the positive, but also Timbers, I've seen them, and they also won their match against the New York Red Bulls. But yes, I think in those two games in that San Diego FC has seen them average around 28 to 30 fouls. But in this, he refereed the last match against Austin and LAFC. That was 27 fouls and 8 yellow cards, and the first one coming at the 34th minute. So he will. I think if things start to get a little aggressive, a little too rough, he will start shelling out the yellow cards early on. And that's real quick, and that's actually a little important to note for Christopher Velde. He has accumulated 2 consecutive yellow cards. If he gets a third yellow card, if Portland wins, he will be out the next match in the conference semifinal.
Which is single elimination.
Yes. So if they want their best player, they better calm him down and not get a yellow card, or else they're not going to see him in the next match.
They may feel like that's a fine price to pay to advance. Yeah. If it takes him playing at the edge that they need him to play at.
How do we feel about?
Go ahead.
Sorry, but Cisniega.
That's where I was going anyway. Yeah. So
sorry.
Perfect.
Yeah,
no, that's great. Cisniega confidence-o-meter. What do you have it? 1 to 10. Turn it up. Where you got it?
Go for it, Tony. I'm gonna look something up.
The Cisniega thing, he's my prototypical goalkeeper. Like, aesthetically speaking, I think I've talked about this. Like, that's what a goalkeeper should be. The goalkeeper that comes out strong and has angles closed and can make a reflex stop and is vocal and trash talks, and like, he's really good at being a Mexican style goalkeeper. However, with the ball at his feet, I don't have to tell you. You don't have to tell anybody. The players tell everybody with a lack of confidence that sometimes they have in giving him the ball, because it's a skill that's learned. CJ Dos Santos is really good with the ball at his feet. He knows how to distribute, and starting kind of that up and is something that you need to build consistency and trust with. And we've seen CJ be able to do very well in these situations. And if it's going to be, hey, we're going to start from the back, Pablo, you're going to have to do some great passing, just elite 100 out of 100% passing. Don't mess up. Shot stopping, he's got it. I have no question in any sort of shot stopping abilities that he may or may not have. Penalties, he's going to do his thing if it needs to. Like, that's okay. But it's with that ball at his feet that I'm just like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say too. The ability to pass the ball from your feet, it's crucial for the system, because if not, he's just going to keep launching it, and that's just 50-50, right? It's either going to go our side, their side, and the reason why we do it a certain way is so we can keep possession, get those short passes in through from our defensive third through the midfield out to the attacking third. So that's the difference. Is like Cisniega not so good with his feet. CJ is a little bit better. And what I had to look up was, and it confirmed, he wasn't really that challenged in the last match. I think 2 shots on target for him, and one that went in. So not much of a challenge against Portland in the last match, but I like the confidence level that he has, especially in the penalties. It made me feel confident. I like that he stopped two out of the 5. That gives you a good shot to win. So I feel pretty good. I just wonder what he's gonna do differently when he has to pass the ball from out of the back. Is he gonna do that, or are they gonna have him do something completely different?
Neither one of you gave me a number. I said there's a
Oh.
confidence-o-meter, and it runs from
Yes.
1 to 10, and you have to turn the dial. So
I'm
what's your
turning it
number?
8.
8.
Yeah. 7.
Oh,
Because it's so crucial. Like
there's so doubt. There's some doubt.
there's one play that it takes for him to make a bad pass, or a play that you said it right, the clearance that we're not we don't have it's just towers out there in the offensive side for San Diego FC. Portland's pretty physical. Portland is pretty big compared to some of the offensive players, right? But I mean, yeah, like he's really good at what he does, man. But and even then, I don't know how well he's gonna do in those moments with a helmet on. It may not seem big, but like as a goalkeeper, you have
Come
your
on.
setup. You have your setup. No, Craig, like you have your setup. It's the most superstitious position. And
Ghost of Alan Mayer here. Come on. This is San Diego royalty. It's on those hallowed grounds that Mayer was wearing a helmet, stopping shots for the San Diego Sockers in the North American Soccer League in 1979. Come on.
and maybe he
It was
feels
83,
better
but anyways.
I was gonna tell you after the show. Don't worry. No. But yeah, I mean, look, 7's still good. If you get a 7 performance out of your goalkeeper in an elimination game and let your other 10 players take care of business, you don't have to worry about a 7 that may potentially need to turn into a 5 or a 10. Like that's not a question, just a good, solid performance.
And for Cisniega, he's 11 out of 13 in save opportunities. So I mean, he's been pretty good when you put him out there to play, and that's why I have a lot of confidence in him. I hope he does well. It's just the little things. It's just, is he just going to be able to pass the ball where he needs to and not flop that over?
10 toes down, standing on business. I'm a 10 for Cisniega. Hey, listen, we need him to stop 1 or 2 big shots, either in the game or in penalties. And I feel very confident that Cisniega, an MLS veteran who's been with this team, who's had a great attitude the whole time, where Pellegrino didn't know the system, Cisniega knew it backwards and forwards. He knows what's going on. He's active and present. He's not going to be blinded by the moment. LAFC won MLS Cup with their backup keeper. That's a fact. Their guy broke his leg, and the backup keeper came in and won, and took penalties and won, as a matter of fact. So there's history within the league of it being successful. I think Cisniega is up to the task. And now I'm going to couple that with the next thing I want to say, which is that I think for this match 3, my player to watch, my man of the match, is Mano Dua. It is Mano Dua, because center back is more important than ever when you have a goalkeeper who isn't going to be always a part of the tiki-taka and isn't going to be a guy that you want to lay it back to him when you're under pressure, because he's going to be under pressure. Bambino's going to be under pressure. The young kids are going to be under pressure again. It's going to be that way again. And it's going to be up to SDFC to be up to the task. And if Dua's up to the task, Cisniega's feet won't matter. All that'll matter is that he stops one or two big shots over the course of the match. And I have a 10 out of 10 confidence that he can do that. Dua doing his job is going to help Cisniega do his job very, very well. And this could be a breakout game for Mano Dua. Or it could be a game that he remembers going into his second year in MLS. But he's my man of the match. Like, he's the guy in the moment for me, because it's how he plays that is going to be the difference on whether they can get that snipe goal and get that 1-0 that Portland would love to hatch and marinate.
Tony, man of the match. What do you think?
I mean, I'm looking over at Chucky Lozano. I'm looking at him to go ahead and just have that breakout. You're going to remember where you were, Chucky Lozano playoff mode. You remember Phillip Rivers in December. Well, now you're going to remember Chucky Lozano in November. Like, that would be something great to start to witness. And I think we've seen what Dreyer's capable of. We've seen it on the right side. If Chucky's a complement to that, like, he just needs to go ahead and fit the team and put everything to bed as it's been in the second half of Portland. Him coming in, you can tell it was natural. He belongs there. The team wants him there. The team is better with him too. And he's going to light up the stadium. Like the last game 1, a lot of people were disappointed that they did not get to see Chucky Lozano in playoffs. This is your chance to see Chucky Lozano in playoffs, and it's the chance to go ahead and support him and, see if he does his end of the bargain too. He needs to be that elite superstar player that San Diego paid for as well.
And my guy is going to be Jeppe Tverskov. I mean, he's the captain. He's going to set the tone here. And I really do believe that he's going to be telling the guys really early on, let's see how far we can test this Timbers team. Let's see how far we can take it with the officiating. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an early challenge, just to set the tone and see where we're at. But it comes from the captain, who was snubbed out of the best 11. I do believe he's the best central defensive midfielder in all of MLS. Way better than Christian Roldan. But yeah, he really is the guy that I think is going to set the tone in this match.
Well, let's talk lineup next, and then we'll get to our training ground sound. If Chucky Lozano's your guy to watch, Tony, should we be watching him on left wing to start the match? Should it be Lozano, Baird, Dreyer, Lozano, Pellegrino, Dreyer? How would you line up the front three for SDFC?
Yeah, you're going to go ahead and start with Chucky Lozano on the left wing, Corey Baird down the middle, and then you get Dreyer over on the right. I think that's a lineup that is a good happy medium to where Portland has seen you the last 3 times. Pellegrino, Baird, Dreyer. Of course, you're going to see honors out there. Of course you are. Baird, okay, like maybe we were expecting Valakari here and there. Nope, didn't happen. It's been Baird. Let's go ahead and keep going. Like let's move that forward. Pellegrino off the bench, the way he's been playing, I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's a bad wild card to have in the 75th minute if you need to, and go for it. Like, just create chaos, use those lanky limbs and create some magic. But yeah, Chucky Lozano starting, getting that pop, feeling that energy. I hope it's another monumental game and a landmark game, much like that LA Galaxy game was for San Diego. That was a game that if you were there, great, amazing. You're never going to forget that. If you weren't there, you missed out. Anybody who's not at Snapdragon Stadium, for whatever reason, I'm sorry you can't make it, you're going to miss out by not being there here on Sunday. So, yeah, that's my lineup, up 3.
Man, it's a tough one, because I think you got to put your best front 3 available out there, and that includes Lozano. That's Dreyer. The third guy, I feel like it's Pellegrino, but you're gonna have to put either Dreyer or Lozano, out of position. But I'm gonna stick with that. I think that's probably the best way to go for the first 45, and then and feel it out from there. But I want almost like I feel like that's a guaranteed goal. Like out of those three, one of them can score, and then for the midfield, I do want to see Luca De La Torre just start just to. It's almost like kind of get him out of the way, but in a good way. It's almost like just start him just to get his legs out there for the first 45. See if he can create something, and put some pressure on the back line. But again, he was also excluded again for another call up for the U.S. men's national team. So he has a lot to prove. So him, Balikari, Tverskov, and the same back line as last week. Get Pilcher out there. He's been playing great. Bobino's been great. And Dua McVeigh. So that's going to be my starting 11.
Okay. I think that objectively the top line that Tony painted is the one that I think will start. I think that's probably what they will do. If there was any wrinkle I would put into it, it's by going to the next question, which is you got to have 5 guys at the end of the game that you are willing to have on the field because of penalties. And to me, if it was for me, in Watson, you don't get to shoot again because you put it 60 feet over the net. So you're going to shoot the next one with absolutely no confidence. I would consider a wild card to start the lineup of Dreyer, Ingvartsen, and Lozano. Of course, Lozano on the left wing, Dreyer on the right wing, but putting Ingvartsen in the middle, the previously planned, back on the whiteboard in Singing Hills when it was in a tent instead of in the beautiful new building. They probably had that as their front line, and give Marcus a half or 30 minutes if he doesn't have it in him, but shoot that at the beginning, because the thing I worry about is him defending at the end of a game. And I'd rather have a guy with athletic legs like Baird out there at the end of the game. But Baird winds up getting subbed out if you start him, just as the nature of this. Like at some point, if you say, we're going to throw in Pellegrino, well, you're probably not going to sub out Chucky for Pellegrino again, unless you really want to, write the drama as thick as you possibly can. That's probably not a move you want to make. So Baird's going to be the one that gets, ticked out of there. And then you wind up with Ingvartsen, who might be the worst defender out of the group. And he's out there trying to defend the most crucial time. Now he's tall, should be able to defend the crosses that are coming in, but that would be the one thing I would think about. But I agree about De La Torre as well. I'd rather go De La Torre and throw Godoy as the closer, as opposed to trying to do the reverse and getting Luca out there at the end of the game when defense matters most.
And to add to your lineup, Craig, about Ingvartsen, they have been ramping him up. So the first match against Portland, to end the regular season, that was 9 minutes, 17 minutes the next match, and 51 on Saturday minutes. So they have been ramping him up, and maybe we can see him potentially get play a first good 45 to start off.
That was 51 with the extra time added. Well, there was no extra time, so just cool. So he's ready to go. Like this is do or die time, and that's what I'm saying, right? You start with Chucky and you leave Chucky in unless there's an injury to Chucky. He stays the entire match because you need him to go ahead and kick a penalty. And even after going the distance again, he should be able to manage his body to kick a single penalty again, and he did a great job this last time. With Aníbal Godoy in the midfield over De La Torre, I think that's the way to go, because the way that it started at Snapdragon last time was with absolutely cracking challenges by Godoy, by Bombino in that first half. And that really was off-putting. And I don't think that's a side that Portland has seen since that first half, where just it was very aggressive. And you get that aggression with Godoy. I do see like, hey, you need that closing aspect. You have the creativity out there in the first half. If the creativity is not working, then you need to go ahead and shift gears into something more physical. But I mean, that's the part where I think I would give Godoy the edge there. And then again, if you are in a penalty situation, the attacking midfielder, I would think and hope, is better at penalties than defensive one. But who knows? At that point, we have three players here in San Diego that are not confident, probably as they were before the last weekend in taking penalties, for sure.
It's just something you have to think about, and I'm not trying to paint him with a negative brush. Ingvartsen is obviously our rise, if you're a hot tub listener, like in terms of a guy that we've just seemingly talked about, over and over for very few goal contributions over the course of the year, but he still has that opportunity. And honestly, I'm trying not to be negative about him. Like, I'm trying to be positive. I think if you started him and he helped you get to 1-0 and he headed in a corner kick, which is absolutely something that's in his bag, over most of the rest of the team. Say what you want about Chucky and Anders. They're not exactly guys that are going to put their head into play all the time. So I think I just prefer that over the idea of bringing him in, who's supposed to be an offensive player, when the time is absolutely nigh to never allow a goal. Now, we all think first goal wins too. So that's the argument to start Godoy and just play him and say for the veterans, listen, there's a break coming up. You're just going to go the distance, and we just need you to be your very best today. And that's all there is to it. It's whether we win or we lose. It's as simple as that.
Oh man, do or die soccer in San Diego. You gotta love it.
You gotta love it. Let's see what everybody. I think that's all we have to say about the match. Let's hear what SDFC is saying about the match, starting, of course, with our beloved third best coach in the league, Mikey Farr.
Just speak on preparation going into this game 3 of the series against Portland. Kind of expectations and kind of what is the mentality going into this game?
Yeah, the response has been great. This is a group that's always responded well to adversity, and for us, it's really simple. It's everything that has gotten us here is what's going to lift us, and it's about being consistent. It's about taking care of the details, and going out there and playing football.
Go straight into questions.
No, Mikey, facing now the same team 3 times in a row, going into a fourth one, what are those challenges that you see now with that aspect of playing the same team?
Yeah, you get to know each other, and then when you get to know each other, of course, things can start to feel closer, in terms of interactions or just how you interact with somebody when you see them over and over again from a competitive setting. And what's important is that our guys are focused on playing a football match at a high level, and that's what our focus is on. And it's always been founded on this idea of being an and team and and players. So of course we play exciting football, but our foundation is built on intensity, on a warrior mentality, and on a fighting team spirit.
How's CJ holding up after the injury?
So CJ is healthy and he's feeling better every single day. So at the end of the day, that's the most important thing from a life perspective. He's healthy. He has sustained a serious injury and a concussion though, so it's about day by day how he feels, getting a little bit better, and taking care of that return to play timeline a little bit later down the line. And right now, just counting our blessings that he's safe from a health perspective.
And Luca Bombino was also out injured in that match. Is he healthy for this match?
Bombino wasn't hurt. Bombino was sick, and it just got the best of him at a certain moment. And Bombino's 100% recovered and ready to fly.
Well, great to hear there. And in fact, you heard Pellegrino post-match, after match 2, talk about get this sickness out of the club. So it could be quite possible, because of course they're not going to talk about it, that there's a dozen guys that are in the clubhouse that have been ailing over the course of the previous week that feel a lot better this week, and it could be as simple as that, to be flying in the first 20 minutes as opposed to be chasing the Portland Timbers around the field like they were.
Yeah, and the conditions at Portland weren't great if you were sick. It was raining, cold, and just having to deal with even the extra time. Like they're probably just out there just waiting for this game to finally end, and they gave up a late one, and hopefully that's all it was. These guys weren't 100%, and now they're feeling better and they're ready to go for Sunday.
Got a little bit of more Vicky Baras too, and again that I can confirm there was something going amok, and just like any work setting, right? Like the guy in the next cubicle gets sick, it's just a matter of time, and it's close quarters for everything. But then to follow up, Abe also had a good couple of questions here towards the end for Mikey.
One for me. Portland's a team that did more fouls than any other game you guys have faced. Do you expect this match to go similar, and how do you maintain the calm in your team when you're playing a team that can be as physical as they were?
Yeah, we have the never back down mentality. So you want to play physical, we also can play physical. We're ready to win duels. We have, like I said, at our base is our intensity, that warrior mentality, that fighting team spirit. So we don't shy away from that. We also play football on top of that, and it's up to the referees to decide what type of flow the game will have. It obviously we believe that each game will be a little bit different too, because even if they come physical like that, we know that if we unlock them just with a little bit sharper passes, that way of playing could also create a lot of avenues to goal for us. Thanks.
Last question.
Yeah. Oh, look at the sly look at Mikey at the end. Ooh. I think he was thinking to himself, nice question, Abe. That's really what I wanted to talk about to wrap things up.
It feels like the gauntlet has been thrown down. It's like, yeah, if they want to challenge us, all right, we're gonna play the same exact style. I'm like, all right, that sounds good to me. These guys aren't backing down from a fight, and I think this team is gonna lay it down, like all of it. Everything's gonna be laid down on the field on Sunday.
Let's hear from the Palatero. Let's hear from Anders Dreyer, newcomer of the year, best 11, 19 goals, 19 assists, and these words.
Anders Dreyer, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Anders, congrats on winning MLS Newcomer of the Year. If you want to start off by just giving us some words on what it means to be nominated and win the award.
No, first of all, it's nice to be nominated. It shows that you, of course, did something good in this season so far. And then, of course, winning it's a proud moment, of course, for myself, but also I think, like I said before, it's an award for the team. We have done something great, and I know I won the prize, but for me it's for the team as well. So I'm proud of myself, but also proud of the team.
And now coming into this third game against Portland, 4 times in a row that you're going to play them, do you approach this game a little differently, or is it the same tactics, same mentality going into this last game?
I think we will do it like we've done it the whole season. It will not be great for us to try to do different kind of stuff. Of course, we will try to do something else than the last game where we lost or draw and then lost in penalties. But no, same mindset, same mentality, and go for the win, like always.
Hunter's been playing chippy and tough, I guess is a nice way to put it. But how do you guys kind of match their physicality after this many matches against them?
I don't know if we have to match it. I think we have to play our way, and then I believe that we are good enough to go through. I know they want to make it physical and tackles and stuff like that. That's for me the chance to beat us. But yeah, for us it's just important to stay in and trust the play that we can do, and just believe that we can of course try to match it. Maybe they're a little bit more physical, but I have the belief that we can can play a little bit more with the ball.
First time.
I'd like to build off that because I think it's a really this is where the crowd and the listeners to Chromaniacs and the supporters and everyone else can come in and be a huge part of this match. You heard Mikey Varas basically say to the head referee, "Flow with us." He said, "You will be in charge of the flow. Please flow with us." But what you heard from Dreyer right there, when the question was match physicality, Mikey's response was, "Yeah." He looked like Chilean street tough right at that moment. It was just, we'll match your physicality. We'll see what happens. Dreyer's like, no, we have to play our style and be with the ball, and then we can defeat that with our good play. What he's saying in saying that, when Lozano gets fouled, they need to call it. When it's a yellow card, they need to show it. When Dreyer gets fouled and it's a card, they need to show it. They need to put that yellow card pressure on an overly physical Timbers back line that's trying to send a message in an American playoff that a lot of these, honestly, Dreyer has to still be looking around going, what's going on? Why are we still playing? Like, we already won. We won the conference. We should move on. But I digress. That's a critical part. And if a crowd of 32,800 is roaring as this player gets taken down, that's been proven scientifically to have an impact on officials' decisions, and especially situations like that where it's just a common or it's a card. That could be a deciding factor in this game. It certainly was in match 1 when a player collected 2 yellows for Portland, turned it into a red, and you just knew San Diego could see the match out.
It's going to be huge. And that's why it's so important to have home field advantage. And that's what we do all throughout the conference. We're going to have home games if we get through this one. And yeah, the biggest thing about having home field advantage is having your fans back you up and being loud. And when you see those calls being made, be louder. Make sure like everybody throughout the stadium knows, hey, that's got to be a penalty. Hey, that's a yellow card, because the referees will get pressured into thinking like, oh yeah, I got to make a call. I got to make a call, or else I'm going to look bad. Everyone's going to be on me. The intention is going to be on me, and no one wants to turn this into a ref show.
It's a tale as old as time. It's the technical wrestler versus and the scrappy, beautiful technician versus the big bruiser with the steel chair and the low blows and spitting at the crowd. And the San Diego FC, it doesn't have that size. It's a Rey Mysterio, very much like it's the aerial, just luchador, different style of taking on this Goliath of MLS and doing it in the best way possible. And you can tell Honors is plugged in with the system. Like, he's saying, hands off the wheel. Right to Dream is taking this, and I'm just a part of it. And wherever the style takes us, it should take us past Portland. But there's that reality. They are more physical. He's the one that feels it. Mikey doesn't feel it. Mikey is on the sidelines. He can hear it. He can taste it sometimes. But he's not gonna be there feeling that physicality. Honors is a foul magnet, and like you said, Craig, like, it's going to be up to this crowd to really be a smart San Diego sports crowd, to really give it exactly in the moments that it needs to. Everybody needs to be dialed in, like, and into every single moment. And at the end of the day, Dryers is speaking nothing but truth and saying, look, what's going to happen is going to happen. It's like the Jedis versus the Sith. Like, the Jedis have their order and their ways and values of going about it. The values will take you. The inaction of too many hands and in the pot, too many chefs in the kitchen. No. We've done this Wu way, flow like water, and it'll work itself out.
We got one more piece of sound, I believe, with Corey Baird, the man who will either be in the starting lineup or won't.
C forward, Corey Baird. Whenever you guys are ready.
Corey, if you can just let us know how are you feeling coming into this elimination game? You had some experience in MLS before. Coming late into the season with this team, how are you preparing yourself and the team looking for this elimination game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think we're very well prepared for this. It's a team we've faced a lot, and me in particular in the last 10 games or so I've been here. I think this will be my 5th time playing them. So we know the opponent. We know what we need to do. We know if we execute on our side, we'll get a win.
Are there more challenges than advantages in playing the same team 4 times in a row?
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of both there. You see a team that this many times, it's just like it's challenging to always come out on top. But I think we've done a good job of sticking to exactly what we want to do. And like I said, the stuff we've done to prepare, the way we play, if we do what we need to do and don't get caught up in some of the antics, the physicality of the game, then I think we'll get a result.
Any more questions?
You're playing a playoff game in your hometown. Did you ever think that would be happening, and what does it mean for you to be doing it?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty surreal for me. Growing up, closest team was Galaxy, and that never really felt like home team for me. So the fact that San Diego got a team, the incredible work this team's done this year, being able to be a part of their first playoff run, it's real special for me.
Love it. Get that local angle in. Pride of Escondido. It's where we restored things. The 18th thread is he should wear 18, Corey Baird. He is a great part of this. Hopefully he will be a big part of this club moving on. We've heard it from all of them then. What they expect is Portland to play nonsense rugby ball, crushing tackles, play it to the edge. They're probably counting on getting a couple of yellow cards from their back line, but just, spreading them out and sending messages so that if nothing else, the little guys, Dreyer and Lozano, are worn out and tired from getting pushed into the grass over and over in an elimination game. They're going to try and use that physical advantage. SDFC is going to try and use their talent advantage to take the lead and play keep away, and you can't hit us if you can't touch us. So, that's a classic one. That's true in hockey too. There's a lot of teams that want to smash you in the corners. And I remember the Gulls GM talking to me one time, like, when doesn't that work? And I go, when you can't hit the guy, when it's the Coyote and the Roadrunner, and you're like, wow, oh, he's already gone. So that's what SDFC has to do. And it's going to be an exciting match. Anything else to say? I mean, I'm excited for this Sunday. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. More than anything, it's going to be arbitrarily definitive for San Diego FC. This franchise is going to continue on for years and decades to come, and they will compile so many statistics in terms of playoffs and silverware won. But this is the first time that they're going to be defined as, did they move on, or did they come up short after winning the first game? And for that, as a San Diego sports, coverer and lover for 30 years, I'm really excited to see how this particular one shakes out.
Yeah, and if people are looking for some positivity and wondering, like, how do these, round one matches normally shake up? Well, in this round one format matchup has been done the previous 2 seasons. So 16 matches total. The team that wins the first game usually wins 14 out of 16 times. The only exceptions were last year when Atlanta United won and some other team won, but that's about it. And again, breaking news, New York City FC has won. They won the first match. They won the third match. They advance. And that's the first upset of the year. The 5th seed defeats the 4th seed. So I'm feeling good about this just because of that. We won the first match. The second match, we still technically, drew, lost in penalties, but I feel good heading into Sunday night.
There's something in the air about this team that just feels different. Again, I've been a San Diego sports fan my entire life. And the fact that, I've been crushed so many of them, and so many were in my formative teenage years, just makes it hurt that much more, where I know very intimately, much like Craig, and I know, Alex, you too, what all those things really feel like. Even more recently with the Padres too, just like we know what that feels like. But there is a different just tone about this. And again, I hope the best for a team that's named San Diego and to move on forward and be the best. Even shout out San Diego Mojo, I guess. Like literally everybody,
Shout out Mojo.
everybody. That includes San Diego FC. This is a chance to really elevate this city like you've been promising, like you've been telling everybody. San Diego soccer has been here, and we watch more World Cup, and it's now time to elevate that from a discussion into a reality of where San Diego deserves to be on the stage in terms of soccer in the world. And I say the world because, more people watch soccer here than almost anywhere in the world whenever it comes down to it. So be proud of that. But let's take care of continental United States first, and then we'll try to conquer the world. But for San Diego, I hope the best, and I think that they have what it takes to get this result here on Sunday.
Yeah, let's just beat Portland. Let's worry about the world later.
Yeah.
Sunday Portland, tomorrow the world. We'll figure that one out next week. But that's going to bring a close to episode 22 of the Chromaniacs. We thank you so much for being here. And Sunday night, I'm hoping to be putting in a 14-hour shift, because hopefully we'll be all together after a big win for San Diego FC live on YouTube. Make sure that you are subscribed to us on YouTube and that you hit the notifications bell so that you'll be informed and be sent that notification when we go live. And while you're there, make sure that you sign up for SanDiego.Futbol, just like 1.67 thousand people have done. Tony, what else would you like to say?
I'd like to say thank you for everybody that's followed us on this journey and have demanded hearing from the team and the club in the way that they have. And it's been a privilege this entire season to do it. And I hope I get to make it out of Singing Hills at least one more time this season. Let's just put it that way. Because if not, then no, I want to go back. It's a nice place to be at. So other than that, SanDiego.Futbol, shout out Abe, shout out Chiva for everything that we do. Shout out Travis, who helps us out so much. Travis Peterson at Punk Rock Paint with so many different things. But everybody here at SanDiego.Futbol, including you guys, Alex and Craig, you guys rock. Alex.
Yeah, and you guys have been putting out some really good content on SanDiego.Futbol. And yeah, thank you for that. And for me, Chromatic FC on Substack, I'll probably write a recap and some other stuff next week once we know what happened on Sunday. And yeah, hopefully another post game show for us, and we'll see what Sunday entails.
Yeah, I'm hoping episode 23 is us diving into the international break as opposed to picking up the pieces from the season. We'll find out. Sunday is a definitive day. Very excited for it. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram at the Chromaniacs if you're listening on the podcast side, and you can throw in a little 5-star or written review all those things are super helpful for us. As for me, Padres Hot Tub continuing apace. We had an emergency episode on Thursday when Craig Stammen was called out from the bullpen to become the manager of the Padres. That sent ripples across the country. We talked about it. You can find that show even on our free feed. Find it wherever you find this show, including on YouTube. Just look up Padres Hot Tub or go to PadresHotTub.com where you can buy some cool merch as well. Also, Crossing Streams is a show that talks about streaming television. A couple new episodes scheduled for next week. You can find that wherever you find all of this. And that's it for plugs. We're all done. For Tony Sanchez and Alex Pena, I'm Craig Elston. We'll talk to you Sunday night. Hopefully happy and victorious. Vamos, SDFC.